practice for handling like the read more link on like a blog snippet, where you would have, say, like 3 blog snippets in like a post thread, and it's just a generalized button. It's not going to be specific about the content that it's leading to. I feel like that there has to be a standard with that, like read more or learn more or something like that. But that's traditionally not great for SEO because it's not very descriptive. So that's my question.
Yeah, I think that's a really great question. It's kind of an advanced thing, but it's really interesting. So the idea here is if you're looking at a blog and you look at the list of articles, right, usually by default, you'll have a headline for the article, a snippet, and underneath it'll say read more with a link.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And in one sense, there's a short answer to your question, Tim, which is it doesn't matter. But if we wanted to get really technical about SEO, and we kind of do, we have to understand how Google handles internal links. So we know how important links from other websites are for our SEO efforts. But one of the kind of the secret weapons in the SEO universe is links from within our own content to pages. We have a menu on every website has a menu, and the menu links will go to most of the pages. But Google says they don't count those links as far as ranking. Those are a way that Google can find interior pages, but they're not using those for determining whether a page is important or not. To get a link that really helps to an interior page from within your own site, linking from within a paragraph of text is the gold standard, because then Google says, oh, you've taken the time to add this link manually. It's a better link. Plus, it's got context. It's got words around it. And usually the link is a clickable text that includes a keyword for which you'd like that page to rank, right? Mm-hmm. So just from an internal link perspective, what's really nice is links within context to paragraphs and stuff like that. That really helps. But Google also knows that whenever they tell us something like this, and they haven't explicitly said this, but it's pretty clear, everybody goes crazy, right? And so sometimes people will go, great, if one link to this page is good, 20 are going to be 20 times as good. So what Google has told us is they actually calculate the number of links, internal links on a page. Let's say from one page, there are 20 links going out to other pages. That would not be unreasonable, 20 links to different pages from one page. Google says it takes the authority of that page and divides it by 20. And the 20th of the authority of that page goes to each of the pages to which you link. So that means if you want a page to get a lot of juice from a topic, you have to have several links to that page, right? But it also says if you link to the same page more than once, they only count the first one.
How do they determine the first one? The first one you did?
The first one added from the top of the page.
Okay, I see.
Not included in the menu. So let's say
everything else is just a duplicate, essentially.
Right. But the worst part of the duplicate is the link juice is still divided by 20.
So you would not be doing yourself a favor by linking to the same page within one more than once. You're actually hurting yourself.
Right. Absolutely. So that being said, and we're getting really advanced here, but it's important to understand. That's where Tim's question about links from blogs are really important. So if we have an archive page that lists all our blog posts, typically the archive will say, here's the title's clickable. Maybe you have an image, that image might be clickable, and you have a read more that's clickable. That's 3 links to the same blog post from an archival page. Google
The
only counts
image
the first
typically
one.
being the first thing.
Right. Google
Yeah.
only counts the first one.
Yeah.
So that means if the first one is an image, it has no alt tag, it doesn't know what that page is about.
Ah,
Mhm.
Right. And then if God forbid the link is only read more, now it thinks all the pages are about read more.
ah,
Right. So the best, if possible, and this is not like the first thing you do when you get to a blog, but this is like, that's why this is advanced, right? There's a lot of other things to focus on before you get this granular. But if you can, make sure your archive links once. Let me see. I'm going to see if I did this.
I just looked at mine. Mine all say read more. My blog page. Yeah.
Okay. So let's evaluate my website. Here we go. Okay. First image is the image, and the image clicks. It goes to the post.
Can I ask a question there? Is
Yeah.
your alt tag the title of that post?
Good question. Let's look. Alt, empty.
Ah,
Uh-oh.
David.
Right?
I
You're
Right?
so vulnerable right now.
don't even want to look at mine after that.
Yeah. Second link, same page. Use the title of the post. Notice I removed the read more.
Ah,
So if I was really smart about it, I would have removed this link. However, then we have a usability issue, right? Because users say, why can't I click on this image? And get frustrated.
Yeah.
Right? But then if we had the alt tag now there, and so then this link would count and this one up right as now, here's the office hours page. All these links, right? Not forgetting these links
yeah.
and not forgetting these links and these links, right? All that. So that's so not the first thing you do, right? This is not the first thing you do to get a little bit more SEO juice out of your stuff. But if you're building a new theme and you can arrange this so that you can maximize your benefit. Now, we could go overboard, as with all things in SEO. I've seen people add no follow links to the second link to really what they call page rank sculpt, which is to really, I wouldn't go that far. In fact, Google said, don't do that. But if you can keep it down to a minimum number of links, you can really manage this a lot better.
So the best thing to do on an archive page is really just to remove read more. Just let even from a user standpoint though, like
I would say so. And I mean, I would want to hear all you rest of your experience too. Like if I came to this page, I think I would know how to get to these posts.
mm-hmm.
If I wanted to know how to sell products on a local audience, I think I would know, oh, I can click this.
I think for your audience for this page, probably so, but for some of my clients' target audiences, it's questionable.
Right. And that's one of those weighing the balance thing, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, there might be an SEO advantage from having one less link and having two links or only one link per post. But would you be sacrificing a bunch of frustrated people who can't find your content?
Right.
And that's why we got to remember, let's not just SEO this to the point where we are hurting ourselves from a usability perspective.
Right. And then it makes me wonder about accessibility too.
Yes.
What's best for accessibility there?
Right.
That's another.
Yeah, well, and accessibility and SEO go hand in hand, not that accessibility is ranking factor, but the things that make things accessible tend to be good for SEO.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Can I share my screen and look at my blog? I'm not sure, like, mine looks a little bit different, so I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on.
While she's pulling that up, the reason this comes up for me too is not to necessarily change a site that I'm working on, but I'm in a design phase of a website right now. And showing this to the agency that I'm outsourced through, their thing was, well, we're not going to have read more links because that's bad for SEO. Like that's the response that I got from them. So that's why I brought up the question, is it necessarily, or how can I talk intelligently about that?
Yeah, I think you as the usability expert, because you're the designer, can bring your expertise in to say, listen, maybe there's a small SEO benefit, but it might not be worth the usability loss.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know,
or
and then,
vice versa.
Yeah, or vice versa. And I'd suggest SEO is really all about picking your battles.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And in some cases, it just might be worth just saying, okay, fine, we can do that.
Yeah, right.
You know. So we're looking at Trisha's here.
So mine are in these, what do you call them, call outs or whatever?
Yep.
Okay. And so like the image here goes out to the blog, and then of course I have the read more.
How about your headline?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay. And then the Trisha too. Do you?
That
there's
goes,
another issue that might be.
Yeah. So now remind me how I figure out if I did my alt, because I have been doing alt text, but probably not on all of them.
Right.
So remind me on
click,
this one.
Inspect.
And then.
So what the blue is highlighted.
Alternative.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, Linktree alternative forest with chain link.
Oh, that was the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have it all. You're doing better than me.
What? Okay. So, but if I was like wanting to maybe do something, I guess I would look in my theme or whatever and see if there's a way to change this text.
Should be.
To read more. Is that what we were saying?
You could, or if so. Again, this is to squeeze a little bit more out of it. This is not Google will hate your website if you do this.
Yeah. So basically, if I'm just have spare time, and I want to do something, I might look at if I could do that in my theme, but it's not critical.
If I were you, I would think you'd have a bunch of other things that are more important.
I think so too.
But not necessarily changing the text of that, because when you have this page set up like this in your theme, if you change it for one, you're changing it for all of these. So I think if I follow correctly, I think what David is saying is it'd be better for you, depending on your audience, if they can find that they can click into this article by clicking on the image or the title of the article without the read more. It'd be more advantageous for you to eliminate the read more link, to limit the number of links that you have on a page and duplicate links at that.
Yeah. Okay. Understand, I think. Thank you.
That's I learn something? Interesting question. Yeah.